Hi everybody, Cliff Barron from Remax here with my update for Milton, Glen Williams, and Georgetown for the week of February 28th to March 6th, 2021, which is just the week past. Let's see, before I get there, I'm going to do something different this time. Usually I kind of, talk about what to do to your house to get more value, all that sort of stuff, yada, yada, yada. So this time I thought, I get a lot of people saying, I've been in this business for 15 and a half years now. It's been a long time, it's almost 16. And I've done hundreds of deals, and I think I've been through thousands and maybe over 10,000 homes in my career. It's tough to say, it's tough to keep track of them, but people say to me, what's the weirdest thing you've ever experienced in real estate? So I get that all the time. So I thought, I'm going to mention them here. Why not? Talk about the weird stuff that's happened to me over the years. So okay, here's a story. So I was selling a house, a townhouse. No, it was a semi. Sorry, in Milton. This is probably around 2009 or so, somewhere around there. And I met with the homeowners. They're like, "Hey, Cliff, can you come in and evaluate our house?" I'm like, "Sure, no problem." Set up the time. I show up, and when I get there, I always walk up and I take a look at the exterior of the home and everything, and kind of get an idea, mental picture of the value. And when I walked up to the house, I remember thinking to myself, boy, this is a nice house, but the problem is the house it's connected to, it was a semi, looked pretty rough. The grass was long. They had a stack of tires on their porch at the front. And in the porch, all the paint was peeling off the pillars and off the porch and everything at the front of the house. So I thought, well, that's not a good thing, because who's going to want to live next door to this? So anyways, I go in the house, I meet with them, I go through my spiel, and then a few days later, they call me up and they say, "Hey, Cliff, we'd really like you to sell our house for us." I'm like, "Oh, that's great." So I set the wheels in motion. I get a virtual tour of the staging, all that sort of stuff. And back then, that was unheard of, but I was ahead of the curve, which is nice. So, nutshell, the home lists, and it doesn't sell for about 4, 5, 6, 7 days. It's like we're getting a lot of showings, but no offers. And my clients are like, "What's going on?" And I go, "I honestly think it's the neighbors." So what happened was, and then next thing you know, that day we got an offer in. So we're like, "Hey, this is great. So we don't have to worry about the neighbors now. This is great." Back then, used to do home inspections because it wasn't as busy as now, and buyers did their home inspection, and I think when they saw the house, they saw it at night. When they did the home inspection, they did it during the day. They stopped by. They're there 3 or 4 hours. They really get a good chance to look around, and they recognized the next door neighbor. The home next door, they really paid attention to it. So the agent calls me the next day and says, "Hey, Cliff, I got bad news." I'm like, what's going on? And she says, "My clients have decided to back out." And I go, what's the reason? She goes, "Home inspection was fine. The financing's fine, but the problem is they don't want to live next door to that." So I had to call my clients to give them the bad news. So my clients, I gave them the bad news the next day. And what we did was, I said, "Okay, we'll keep going and see what happens." We didn't adjust the price or anything like that. So my client took it upon himself. The next day, he got his lawnmower out. He cut their grass, his neighbor's grass. He painted the front porch for her, organized everything, threw out a bunch of garbage, organized everything on the porch, and completely spruced it up. And then he said to me the next day, "Can you come by and take a look?" I took a look. I was like, "That's great." The next day he calls me in a panic and he says, "I got bad news for you." I go, "What's that?" And he goes, "My neighbor is suing me. He's called the cops on me." So the cops charged him with trespassing, and he had to go to court and everything. It was just a total disaster. So anyways, that's one of my best stories in real estate so far. But actually, I got a lot. I got tons. I'll bring you more every week. I can fill a whole book. Okay, getting to the sales for Milton. And what's the moral of that story? I guess the moral of the story is he tried to approach them first, but she was a really nasty neighbor, and she was just like, "Get lost, leave me alone. I'm not doing anything." And moral of the story is you can't pick your neighbors, I guess. So anyways, okay, so the sales for Milton. Let's see, still busy. It's starting to slow a little bit though. I've noticed the inventory is starting to go up now. Like I'll log in and see 30, 40 new listings in a day, which is a lot. So we're kind of getting to the point where we're starting to kind of level off a little bit. Not yet though, we're getting there. Let's see, 25 townhouses sold $864 on average, 12 semis sold for $971 on average, and 31 detached sold for $1.267 on average. I think those are pretty much the same as a couple of weeks ago. Hasn't really shifted up a little bit or shifted down just yet. And then condos in Milton it's funny, condos in Milton. There's an area of Milton on Main Street, 1460 Main, roughly around there. There's a Courtyards on Main, I think it's called. It's going crazy. It's Milton condos are higher than Oakville, higher than Mississauga. It's makes no sense, but if you live there, go for it. Let's see, 6 sales of condos, 582 on average. You take that to square one, that would be about 490 on average, maybe 510. And then condo townhouses, 2 sales, 638 on average. Get to Georgetown and Glen Williams. It's been busy there too. There's a few big ones listed as well. 2 sales of townhouses, 807 on average. 1 sale of semis, one semi sold for 825. Detached 2-story, there was 13 sales at 1.277. That's getting up there. I've noticed the Georgetown prices are they're getting up there. They're getting it's equivalent to Mississauga, Milton. And then detached bungalows and split levels, there was 9 sales, 867 on average. They tend to sell a little bit less because they need a bit of work over time. And if they have the nice big lot value, that's where I always say the value is in the dirt. Like people don't kind of recognize that sometimes. They think the value is in the upgrades, but after 10, 15, 20 years, those upgrades are all out of date. And it comes down to the dirt. Anyways, so Cliff Barron from Remax with my update. Any questions, send me a PM, DM, EFT, electronic funds transfer, anything, or a phone call. I'll talk to you soon. Take care.